Hello, this is Jefferson from Giving is Good. Today, I have some friends of mine with me. We have Samantha Golden, and we also have Charla Janeka, who I've known for a long time. They have founded a nonprofit called Help Her Rise. And they have a couple of different parts of that nonprofit that they operate. Their main goal is to go out and give a hand up, not a hand out, to single moms that are in a state of need, whether it be possibly a auto payment or something that has caused them to be, maybe not spiraling, but headed towards something where they might lose where their rent is, where their family is at, and they've got kids, and so Help Her Rise is focused on identifying those single moms that need help and helping them through that situation, and also looking for jobs and job opportunities. So it's a special organization. There's not a lot of people out there that do this necessarily. There's counseling, for a lot of moms in that situation, but meeting specific financial needs, identifying those mothers, helping them with their needs, and then also, once they've lost a job because of something that has happened in their life, now going and helping them, whether it be entrepreneurship, and I think y'all are going to tell us about She Rises and what y'all been able to do there. So they do some fun things, and they're here to share with us what they are planning to do in the future and what their model is about, and maybe some of the moms that they've been able to help. So Samantha, Charla, take it away.
Okay, well, I guess we could kind of start with how it all started.
Yeah.
And how it all started was about 4 or 5 years ago. We met a single mom who had 5 children. We found out that she was homeless, and this woman was willing to do whatever it took to take care of her kids. And so we just started walking with her in the journey of, the first thing we knew to do is get her into a shelter, because once you get into a shelter, then you can get into a transitional housing program. And we knew this woman was going to need some time to get back on her feet. What we didn't know is that at the time, it was in December, so the shelters were all full, and they were not taking moms with more than 3 children. She had 5. And so I think it was like December 20th, and she was it was almost Christmas.
It's cold.
Yeah, cold
and she
day.
has 5 kids.
5, and a newborn. 4 months old, yeah.
Good Lord.
A place to live.
So we were frustrated. We just ran into so many brick walls at trying to get her the help that she needed, that at that point we knew we had done all that we could financially, each of us ourselves. And so we knew we had to raise some money. So from there, we had a good cookie recipe. And so we just started making gluten-free chocolate chip cookies and selling cookies to provide funds to help this single mom.
Wow.
And so that's really how it was all birthed.
Through
Through cookies. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's where it originated.
Something so simple.
It
You
was.
saw a need, and you go, okay, what can we do? Or you start helping, and
What's
then,
in your hand?
Yeah, you used to go, okay, what can I do? And the inspiration being, let's make some cookies and start selling them. And I'm sure when you tell people, hey, here's what we sell them for, people are, okay, give me dozens, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, she loves to bake. And so as we started, just sharing them with people, and it started with our church groups and life groups and things like that. And as word got out, businesses started finding out about it, and then we started doing farmers markets, and the word got out. And so it grew, and opportunities came for us to do that. And we thought, we could begin to really empower and equip some single moms and give them the opportunity to make some money, on the side, or increase their income, because not all moms can go to work. Some moms have kids with challenges. Some moms cannot afford childcare.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they're
and
in
they're
this
at home.
wait, in this limbo where they're stuck. And so it was just a really good opportunity, a start. This is how it kind of started.
Yeah.
And this is where our mission kind of took off. And it's just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah, and in that, just really looking at what are all the obstacles that keep women from getting on their feet. And so when you're looking at single-parent households, over 80% are ran with a single mom. So when we're talking about single parents, 80% are single mom-led.
Yeah,
And then
I can
also,
see
if you're
that.
looking at that, 70% of single moms do not receive child support. So they're on their own trying to make this happen.
Wow.
And then if you look at what the average single mom receives for child support, it's about $300 a month.
$300 a month.
So you're looking at childcare.
That won't even cover childcare. That
No.
doesn't cover
Yeah,
rent.
absolutely.
It does not buy your groceries for the month.
Yep.
I mean, it does nothing for you.
Yep.
Right.
It does very little.
That doesn't cover the needs of a child.
Right. And thank God, I mean, I am thankful for our government, but our government is set up in a way that they'll help you, but the help keeps you in poverty. So there's this big gap between government dependency and self-sufficiency. And so that's really where we want to come in and just try to be that gap. And also, most of our single moms would be in the category of the working poor. So they don't have benefits. If their kids get sick, they don't have sick days. They don't have vacation days. And so when you take off work, your income is, your budget is so tight that even missing one day of work, think about
will
2 to 3 days
spin
of
you
work,
for
it leaves you
months.
spiraling, yeah.
Months.
Or if you have a car repair, you know, a $500 car repair can take you 6 months to recover from.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we can come in and just fill those gaps and just help a single mom from spiraling, that's what we want to do.
And stay afloat.
It is. One of the things that I know, I was fortunate, but I was a single mom for 8.5 years. And I know that and I was fortunate to have a good job and a career. But even when I would get hit with a car repair or a new set of tires or just maintenance, things like that, it would set me back. So can you imagine what it does with that? And so just thinking about how, I lost my train of thought, but how important it is
Yeah.
that it's not just the working poor, but like even for moms, like how it would affect me. I can't imagine how it would affect them. I could bounce back in a couple of paychecks.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not a bounce back.
Not when you have 5 kids and you're in a shelter and you don't have a job and you probably don't have a car.
Right.
So you can't go get a job. You don't have anybody to take care of your kids.
Right.
I mean, that working poor, and that's non-working poor, y'all's first example.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So being able to figure out how to help bridge that
It
gap
is, yeah.
and provide needs for that mom and those kids.
Right.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Yes.
Right?
So there's a lot of opportunities. If we, She Rises is actually a for-profit business with a social mission. And so that is still there. But birthed out of that was we saw the necessity of forming a nonprofit for Help Her Rise.
Okay.
One of the things as a single mom was 4 walls, 4 wheels for me always.
4 walls, 4 wheels.
4 walls, 4 wheels.
Okay.
That's one of the things. And I actually learned that because she was actually my single parents' pastor. That's how we met,
I've never
like
heard that. I
back
like
in
it.
2009. And one of the things, because I didn't know a budget. I mean, like, I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I was just flying by the seat of my pants. She's like, no, you've got to pay attention to your 4 wheels and 4 walls.
Yeah, I get it.
And so when I started mentoring, that was one of the things that I paid attention to.
Yeah.
4 walls, 4 wheels, and those are really important things. But out of that, and doing that, because cookies will get us so far, and we want to build that business in itself, but that's what caused the birthing of the nonprofit, so that we can do more than just a car repair.
Yeah.
We can really equip, empower, and encourage and change destinies. I really do believe that with Help Her Rise.
Well, when we started looking at just the needs for these women, it felt overwhelming, and we didn't know how in the world are we going to do this? And then we heard about 100 Men That Give a Damn, and we thought, well, my goodness, that is
Why
a
can't we do
great
that?
model, and we have friends that want to help,
Yeah.
and so we just kind of modeled Help Her Rise after 100 Men That Give a Damn, and so we have a vetting process of how we pick the woman, and then every 4 months we come together, we throw her a party.
Big party.
Because one of the things that
That's awesome.
we always want to help in a way that brings dignity and worth. I don't ever want someone to feel like that we're just giving you a handout or we're pitying you.
Right,
Pity
right.
doesn't make you feel better.
Yeah.
And so we want to do it in a way of saying we see
believe
you,
in
we
you.
believe in you.
We value.
And we're
who
giving you
are.
a hand up.
Yeah.
Because when you are paying for someone's education, or even if you are giving them a new car to get to a job. What about those people that really do want to work?
Right.
Yeah.
These women really want change, and we want to affect change in their lives.
Gotcha.
And everybody wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves, right?
yes.
And so when you all come together and you see that my $25 a month can make a huge difference in the lives of a family. And so when come together, every 4 months, and we either meet by giving a card, or our last single mom that we helped had cancer. And there was some need that she needed to get out of her house. She had 2 more months left to pay rent, and she wasn't going to be able to work. So we all came together. We're able to covered her kids' Christmas.
I gave them a Christmas.
So, and it wasn't just for that mom. We wanted her kids to see that you guys are not alone. There is a group of people. There's family around you that love you, that believe in your mom, that believe in you.
And you're all walking beside them,
Yes.
going with them on this journey.
Yes. So the kids were a part of the party as well. Like we celebrated them the same way that we celebrated the mom. So
one of the things that we also offer with that, and it's not just a love them and leave them thing. So we're not going to celebrate you and leave. We're going to offer ways to help her rise and adopt a mom in their family. And so we have a lady that designs some beautiful cards. And so we have opportunities for women to come in and come alongside these families and adopt them. And so every month you can drop them a line. We'll give you a set of 12 months worth of cards, and you can send them movie tickets. Some of them don't ever get to go to the movies.
Wow.
Think about
Something
that.
we take for granted.
Something we take for granted.
You know?
Some of these people don't get to go to movies.
Decision we make on a whim. Let's
That's
go to
a
movies.
big deal. ChickfilA cards.
Yeah.
Different things. So every month you can write a word of encouragement, stick a gift card in there. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but someone is standing with you. I see you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what they need to be. We all have this innate desire to be known, to be seen, and to be loved. We are created for relationship and never to go it alone, and isolation is a killer.
It's true.
And so many of these single moms are standing alone, and the repercussions sometimes go out on the children. And so that gets reproduced in the next generation. And so part of Help Her Rise's mission is to stop that, because if you can get the kids, if you can get the parents and you can get the kids, and that's a big motivation. Like, I know that Samantha's heart, and mine as well, but is for the kids and to change the ACE score.
The ACE score.
We just watched a great video on that.
Well, you look at we're in the 50th year of NoFault Divorce. And really what we're looking at as our nation is the
I don't even know what that is.
NoFault, well, it's California, 1970. They were able to pass NoFault Divorce. So you could you didn't have to have a reason for divorce. Used to, you would have to have a good reason. A judge would have to sign off on it. So we are now 50 years into NoFault Divorce, which it's the breakdown of the family when we look at where we are as a society. And so it's really just coming alongside and helping to restore and rebuild families. And I always tell single parents, just because you're a single parent doesn't mean you're not a family. One parent plus God equals success. And when you bring God into the picture, you're not going to have the statistics. And one of the things that I really realized when I was reading all these statistics from single parent homes, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so depressing. But when I looked at it, it was really that it's that there's no parenting going on. Because one parent involved, your kids are going to be okay. It's when there's no parenting and one parent is completely gone. The other parent is working 2 to 3 jobs just to try to keep food on the table, or they're just emotionally spent, so they have nothing. And so that's where we have to come alongside and be support. When they say it takes a village to raise kids or family, like that's
really
true.
Does.
It does take a village.
It takes a team.
It does.
Take a team.
I've been married, but let me tell you, I needed all my sisters to help me raise my 4 kids. So it's just having people come alongside us. We all need that. So
I agree. The amount of time and effort that it takes to raise kids is astounding. I have a heart for single moms because we've had a lot of single moms work for us over the years. Just we're in a business, in the mortgage business, and there's lots of females that work in that business because their skill set is way beyond what I can do. I'm good at one thing, and they're good at all the other things. It's amazing.
That's a female thing, I think.
It's the way they're made versus
the way
we're
wired.
Women. It's just human nature. It's just funny how it works in our business. But one of those single moms, she got $8 last month for her child support. $8.
$8.
Because the baby daddy lost his job, and she got $8. And you know what? She's going to need some help this month. Now she has a lot of family around her, and we all know when it's needed, and everybody's in tune because we are a little more centered in our thought processes, and we have had single moms work for us for a long time. So we we're a little more sensitive to it, So, what you guys are doing, is very important, because there are lots of single moms with real issues and problems that need to be fixed, and they are one paycheck away from
disaster,
from the street or the shelter or the car not working anymore, and it could be something simple.
And the area that we live in, we don't have bus routes, it's not like we can
There's no mass transit.
And can I tell you that I am astounded at some of the women that I've met that have told me, I live in my car. I would never know.
With kids.
With kids. But you would never know it, because they won't let anybody know it. And they don't look like they live on the streets because they have a lot of pride. And they can't believe they're there either. And they don't plan on staying there. But it's just astounding. I mean, and my heart just breaks every time I hear these stories. And I'm just like, but for the grace of God, there go I.
Well, I met a single mom probably 2 months ago. I was at work, and our offices are right by the public library. And anyways, she came over asking if I had a hanger because she'd locked her keys in the car. So I'm trying to find a hanger, and
old school hanger.
Yeah, like it has to be old school hanger. Can't be a plastic hanger,
a wire hanger.
So we're looking everywhere for one, and I ended up finding one, and I walk over there with her, and I noticed. I looked in her car, and I noticed there was a whole lot of stuff in her car.
Toiletries and
like
extra
clothes,
everything.
And she'd had 2 kids, and so the more we're talking, and the more that I'm walking, listening to her, I realize she lives in her car. So I brought her over to the offices, got her food, water, started talking to her, and then called Hands of Hope, which Hands of Hope is an amazing organization. And they really help the homeless here in the Fort Worth area, the Tarrant County. So I called them. They helped us get her into a shelter where her and her kids, could stay the night. But the thing about this shelter is that every night they have to check in. There's no guarantee. And then the other thing is, 7 a.m., you're back on the streets. So you and your kids, you got to find somewhere to go all day until it's time to check back in at night. And so this mom, she's amazing. She's got a lot of talent. She's working right now to try to figure out, how do I get childcare so that I can go get a job? So there's so many obstacles. Your first thought would be, well, go out and get a job. Well, okay.
Who's going to take care of the
Who's going to take care of the kids?
2-year-old and the
childcare isn't free.
No.
And there's not a lot of charity childcare.
No.
And if you think that applying for government,
CCMS.
is easy, think again. Or if it's readily available.
Well, that's just the thing. When you apply for CCMS, which is our government subsidized child care, it can take 18 months to 2 years to even...
There's people over 2 years on a wait list that I've talked to.
And then the thing about that is it's great while you have it, but I had a single mom who came in to meet with me and said, hey, I have an opportunity to take a raise. I could get $1 an hour raise at my job. But it was going to help her. I think over the next couple of years, she would be able to make about $5 to $6 more an hour. And she said, but if I take this job, I lose my CCMS. Now, she had 3 kids. That was $700 a month in childcare. That $1 an hour raise was not going to be.
Would have cost her.
Yeah.
So they can't get ahead.
So that's the issue. But this mom said, I think I've decided I'm going to take it, or I'll never get to have a house with a backyard. And so we had to just kind of come alongside her and come up with a plan of how we could help her till she did get to the $5 an hour raise. So that's really what Help Her Rise is. We're going to sit down with each woman. Every situation is different. So we can't just, there has to be some gray in how we help, because we want to tailor it to that family. And also be able to see, is this mom, is she really committed to do what it's going to take? Because it is sacrifice. And it's hard. I mean, so if you want to break government dependency, there's a season of it being pretty uncomfortable. And also just this trust factor of leaving what you know. You can have Section 8 housing, you can have food stamps, but what you know is that's the life you're going to have for the rest of your life, unless you're willing to take some risks, which is scary because, again, there's that gap between government dependency and self-sufficiency. And if there's not people to come alongside these families, it's almost impossible for them to make that leap.
They can't break free.
They can't.
They'll never break through.
So every once a quarter, y'all have combined funds and raised funds, and then y'all have identified a family or a single mom with kids, typically, and y'all are providing funds for whatever her issues are or needs, and trying to get her. Sounds like you're also helping her with connections to the right type of agencies.
Absolutely. That's a big part of it.
One of the giftings that we both have. We're connectors.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we want to be a resource for women in crisis, single moms, just women in general. We want to be a resource in a place where they can come and we can steer them in the right direction, in a place of safety, in a place where they're going to have real help, real value. It's going to be a real asset to them.
There are a lot of agencies.
Right.
There are a lot of
Some great
nonprofits.
partners.
There's a lot of partners out there to partner with, but it's finding those people who have those resources, like finding a non-shelter environment. But there are places in Fort Worth that I found about that will provide family housing for families, but they have partners out there, investors that have given them, okay, I've got an apartment complex and 5 of my apartments are just for your people.
Oh, that is our dream. That's one of the things that we want. We want to eventually have our own apartments.
Yeah.
And our family development center, Sam wants a family development center. I would love to have our own apartments.
And for every mom that is nominated for Help Her Rise, we have sat down with them, and there is a plan. So it's not like we're just giving money with no plan.
Right.
So it's like we've identified a need, and there is a plan to help them get to the next step.
There's a road.
There is a road.
And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. I mean, I've shared with you that I was a single mom for 8.5 years, and one of the experiences on my journey is my education. And so it's important to me, like we have a girl right now, a mother, a single mom that is in the last stages of her nursing degree. And so that's something that we're looking at.
Wow.
But because I was a single mom, I started my journey for my undergrad. I was 40 years old when I started back, or 40 something years old when I started back as a single mom. And I always thought, I can't do this.
It's a tough road.
It's a tough road. Right. I'm finishing my master's degree right now.
Yeah.
And I've since remarried, and I'm still on that journey. But that's one of the things. So one of the other, I guess, benefits that we want to offer is also emotional and mental support. We want to provide resources for them, as well as just the financial part too, but we're going to, and making a plan and a strategy for their future. But we also want to see to their mental well-being and to their spiritual well-being and to their emotional health and to their identity of who they are, and really helping them to unpack some of the trauma that they've experienced, because trauma is at the core of a lot of people. Don't get here by accident.
Right.
You don't land anywhere by accident. It didn't just happen. And so to keep that from repeating itself generationally, have you ever noticed that tends to happen a lot?
Yeah, those kids are stuck in that cycle.
Right, you get in these cycles.
Will they be able to get out of it? Will they be able to escape abuse when they're in and out of shelters? And
if you come,
it's tough.
Alcohol. If you come out of an alcoholic, abusive family, the tendency is that you're going to go right back to it, and you're going to attract that. And so really getting to the core of that and getting a woman healthy to where she knows who she is and that she sees value on herself, that she can place that value on herself. I think that's one of my main mandates and my main heart desires for women, is to see them walk in their true identity and manifest who they're really created to be and own their greatness.
So you are life coaching mentoring and helping. You're acting as a life coach
Yes.
and a mentor and a counselor. Do you have enough ladies that you're also having to find people to help you in this? Because
We have some great
you have
partners.
a family and you're working on your master's, and I know y'all have got jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all have got a bunch of things to do, so you also have to have people that want to walk beside some of these young
Absolutely.
ladies
People
and women
that-
in this.
That's part of Help Her Rise and the She Rises. It's more helping educate, others around us of what these families are going through.
Yeah.
And once women know, they want to come alongside and
They
help
do.
other women.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of times you don't know what you don't know, right? Like there was so much when I started into this journey of helping single moms that I just didn't know. And the more that I would find out and the more that I began to know, the more angry and more frustrated that I got by looking at all the barriers that are in place to keep women from becoming self-sufficient.
Interesting.
And so I was shocked. I was so naive. Like I was probably one of the most naive people. I thought all people are good. I thought the court systems were fair. I thought the government system had to have been good. And I had a very rude awakening. But it's also really, I just have this passion now to come alongside and to know that it's not the government's responsibility, that it's our responsibility. And we can't expect somebody up in Washington to know what women here in Fort Worth are having to go through. Like there's everywhere, every state, every city, we've got our own challenges. And so what we can do is make a difference right here. And so that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we're trying. We believe that women want to come alongside, and men, and see women become successful.
Yeah.
Every dollar that you spend on childhood prevention saves taxpayers more than $5. So as we begin to come
I
alongside,
think that'd be some simple math for the government. right?
Really?
I would think so. But the government can't fix it. That's what we have to realize is
Right.
we've been asking the government to do something that they can't do.
Yeah.
And the hand of government can never do what the heart of God can. And so it's people with a heart that come alongside and lock arms that's going to make a difference.
It's community.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do, is really come together as a community of people to lock arm with these women and their children,
Yep.
to see them succeed and have just heart health and have successful homes. And if you didn't notice, she's a bit of a social justice warrior. So it's real easy to get excited.
It may be from that awareness and coming from, in your terms, naivety.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And becoming aware of what is really happening to some of these moms and their kids and
Right.
what they go through when there is no answer.
Right.
I can't take that job with a better pay because then I lose my subsistence for my childcare, and then all of a sudden you're like, so basically you're going to be poor forever. And
Right.
well,
No way out.
Where's the hope in that?
I mean, come on.
We all need hope.
Yeah.
Everybody needs hope. And if I could say in one word what Help Her Rise does is it brings hope.
Hope.
Okay.
If we can you just need hope to get to the next,
Yeah.
the next stage.
A lot of things are possible. Way more possible when you have a little hope.
Hope, yeah.
They sure are.
Right.
And really, if you bring someone who is hurting and you just give them a slap on the shoulder and say, I'll pray for you, I'm believing with you, I'm standing with you, but you don't give them bread,
Yeah.
or you don't give them, money, or, it's just like, what?
They go hand in hand, right?
They kind of, you need to do both. And that's what we want to do. We want to provide resource financially. We want to bring emotional health. We want to help them mentally, and we want to help them strategically find a path for their life that is going to make them successful, happy, whole, and healthy.
Well, and it's not, when we're thinking about yes, it's the woman that we're looking at,
And
but
the
it's also the
children.
children. If you're not helping
gonna
the
follow in
mom
that
and
path.
the kids
Yeah.
at the same time, you've got to help the mother and you've got to help the kids at the same time to make a lasting difference. And that's really our heart, is let's stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And let's begin to make a plan so that you can have life again. It's hard. It's hard when you're just surviving. When you're just surviving, we want to see women thrive, not just survive.
Absolutely.
So,
What do you think is, in the next 3, 4, 5 years? What's your vision? Where is Help Her Rise headed? What do you think? Paint the picture.
Paint it, Sam.
Well, I think if we were just dreaming big,
gotta dream.
We dream.
We dream. So that's
It's part of it.
That's part of
We
it
do.
for sure. So really we want to go to build Help She Rises, because what we know is you can't always go out asking people for money. We've got to have a way that we're bringing in income.
Okay.
And so Help Her Rise, we would love to just do more with that, more with the cookies, whether that be a bakery or we've also looked at doing kitchens, commercial kitchens, also a catering company. So we have some different things that we're looking at doing, but long term, it's to build it's to have jobs for single moms, and then also build She Rises to help do it. Ultimately, I would love to see a daycare center.
Wow. Okay.
If we're looking at changing the generations, one of the things that we're seeing so much now is a lot of kids are having detachment disorder. When you are living, you're just barely making it, so you can't pay a daycare, so you move your kid to another daycare, you're working 9 to 10 hours a day. These kids are not attaching. So then we're starting to see crime.
Yeah.
Kids, when there's no attachment and there's no empathy, I can hurt you and not feel bad about it.
Sure.
So looking at how can we come alongside and create an environment that is safe for these kids. And the best way to do that is through a family development center, because daycare has kids a lot of times more than the parents.
Parents do.
Sure.
And so if there's a safe environment there and a safe place for kids, then I really believe that's the way to be proactive instead of reactive. Right now we're reactive. When we look at the prison system, we're looking at 80% of men in prison were raised without a father, and a big percentage of them didn't have a mother either.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I was shocked about,
Scary.
well, this was even shocking, 90% of women in prison were raised without a father. So what we're doing as a society is we're being very much reactive right now to this.
Yeah.
But we can go back and look at where these kids are in 3rd grade. Where's their reading level? And kids that are not reading well in 3rd grade I don't want to give the wrong statistics, but it's a huge statistic of being more likely to drop out of high school. And if
Because
you
they're
get
too far behind. At a
they
certain
start being
point,
too far behind, and it's too
and
hard
our
to
school
catch up.
system just pushes them through because that's the way it is.
Right.
And the moms are busy working to
busy
provide for their
working.
family
To
and
take care of things.
and to get kids to and from tutoring, and I mean it's a full-time gig.
So our long-term goal is to do something to come alongside to really help support these kids
Wait,
and
they
bring
can't
that
afford
stability.
tutoring. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No tutoring because
know,
they can't afford it.
But
Well, they
you've
can't
got
even play sports.
And they can't play
school, but
sports
even
either.
After-school tutoring, with the kids, they've got to get on a bus and they've got to
Gotta
get
get
home.
home.
They
Yeah.
don't get to stay extra
No.
for tutoring.
Latchkey
Yeah.
kids.
I mean, it's just that cycle. It's just that non-stop
So that's what the
issue.
Family Development Center is we can provide the after-school care with tutoring, with also sports. If kids can get into sports, extracurricular activities is so important
Yeah.
for self-esteem. So just really looking at how we can come alongside the children as well as the parents.
Interesting.
In my heart, I am believing God for either an apartment complex or someone to donate a house to us where we can house women that have single moms that have children that are in college, that are wanting to, but for those seasons that they're in college, and we can give them rent free so they can get grants and go to school and not stress, so they can work 20 hours a week, kind of like Samantha started a program years ago similar to this, and I want to carry this on with Help Her Rise eventually, and I saw this model work, and so there's something, but I'm believing for someone to donate houses to us or an apartment complex so that we can house these single parent families so they can go to school without the stress and better themselves and get into a career.
Well, education's the way out of
Education.
Absolutely.
poverty, you know?
And so they can give back, and they'll sow back into the next lady, into the next family.
And there's so much that, it doesn't have to be a 4-year degree. There's lots of trade colleges.
It can be
trade
trade,
schools
yes, just
Anything
seasonal.
that provides
Right.
work so that they
Right.
can feed their
Yes.
children and
a skill
start-
set.
Yeah.
If they have a skill set,
Right,
you
right.
know.
Yes, I would love, love, love that. I think that would be amazing.
My daughter has a roommate right now, female, and she's a welder.
They make
And she
good
does
money.
really
That's
well.
incredible.
Yeah, she's a female welder. She's like 21, 22 years old. She finished her degree and became a welder, and she makes a bunch of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
there
know,
was a.
But that's just, she didn't even need her degree, but
Right.
she ended up being a welder after she finished her degree. But it's just, women can do anything.
But she's following
there's
her
a-
passion.
Absolutely.
There
she
is a
loves it.
shortage of welders. Well, there was a woman that she iced cakes. And I thought, you know what, if you can ice in a cake, that means you've got a steady hand, you can be a welder. I tried to talk her into being a welder because she was so great at,
Which
you know
pays
what,
an incredible
it pays
amount.
a lot of money,
Yeah.
and it's a year? You go to trade school for a year, and,
Yep.
and you've got a great career.
It's funny, and it with the paths that people could take, or and some people don't want to because they can't, and then some people know that's not the right path.
Right.
But
And some people just don't know. They
some
don't even
people
know that
just
it's an
don't know.
option.
That's
Yeah.
right. There's not a whole lot of ladies that wake up and children go, I want to be a
I'm gonna be a
welder.
welder.
Females. That's not a normal path. But this young lady's strong and smart and makes a great
good
living,
money.
and she can go work wherever she wants, anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
She got a job.
So
Yeah.
true.
It's funny, right?
It is. It is. I think there's something for everyone, every woman, and every single mom. Even if you're just in that stage where you're just going through a divorce, and there's women, there's single moms, there's women that have never been married, there's women that have been married for 20, 30, 40 years and they didn't see it coming,
Yeah.
and they are going through divorce.
Yeah.
I don't, because they're feeling just as broken and hopeless, and I think hope is the key word that we were talking about. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that as well, because I think that those women as well, they need hope.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to plug in and really need some resources, and maybe more so on the emotional and mental side.
Right.
But we want to have tools and resources and partners for that as well, and have those kind of resources for those single moms as well, and how to process that pain.
Interesting.
And as well.
So, you are working in a lot of different facets for
Right.
single moms with their kids, and counseling and financial needs and education, and getting them to the right people to
Right.
help
Yeah.
them do what they need to do. And then you're still focusing on giving away X amount of funds,
Yes.
building up that war chest, and then giving it away quarterly.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And there's no shortage of ladies who
There
need the
is
help.
no shortage.
Right?
No.
You will never be able to go, we're finished.
can't find
we
anyone.
helped
Yeah.
everybody.
No,
Right?
there's no shortage of that.
Yeah.
Well, and our next one will be in April, so we're getting excited about that.
Okay.
Our next woman, and we have some great candidates. So
We
we're
do.
we're about
Okay.
to be in the next
So
couple
people
of weeks.
bring you all people. They nominate.
We do have a nomination form
Okay.
that will be accessible on our website,
Okay.
which is at helpherrise.com.
HelpHerRise.com. Okay.
You can also donate at helpherrise.com. So we have the ability to give quarterly, to give a one-time donation gift. We have opportunities for you to just write in and say, hey, I want to be a secret sponsor, or I want to be a Help Her Rise, partner, or I want to be an ambassador, and have a mom come in and bring your She Rises cookies and tell your story to my group. I want to be a part of your tribe. I want to be a tribe ambassador. And so there's lots of different ways that you can really connect with us, and you can reach out to us at helpherrise.com, at Charla or Samantha at helpherrise.com as well.
Yeah.
That is
We
awesome.
would love to hear from you.
And it's where there's tons of things that we want to do. What we're focusing on right now is what we can do.
What we
Right.
can do.
And what we can do are these quarterly parties, and
Yes.
partner with other organizations
Yeah.
that are already doing the things that we're not doing.
Yes.
You can find one mom with kids in a situation
Right.
where she needs help, and you can make a difference.
Right.
Yes.
Right? So, to people out there in the audience that are watching this, you think about the inspiration of what you ladies are doing for other ladies and those young families, or maybe they're older families, but there's just a mom in a car with her kids, and they are alone, they feel helpless. Everyone could do what you guys are doing if they took the step to help. But you
Right.
may not want to go and start your own Help Her Rise, but you sure could partner with them
Yeah.
and join the team, join the tribe, join the moms that are helping, and be a part of what they're doing, because maybe you've been there. Maybe you know what that pain's like. Maybe you grew up in a household with a single mom who didn't have anything, and you know what that struggle is like. So there are people
Yes.
that are trying to help that situation. So you may know somebody that you want to nominate.
Yeah.
So you can
Yes.
bring the nomination to helpherrise.com.
Yes,
Right?
we'd love to hear
Absolutely.
from you.
That's awesome.
Anyone, yes.
So if there are some people out there that identify with what these ladies are doing, Charla and Samantha, they sound like they could use some help. Right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
we will
We'll
take it.
take it.
And to help some more children with a single mom in need that could use a true hand up, not a handout, and that they are walking this journey with these
Right.
moms.
Yes.
So
Cars and education.
cars, 4 wheels, 4 walls.
And education.
And, okay, we're going to add the education. All right. So I really appreciate y'all coming. I believe in what you're doing. The need is incredible. You know, I mean, there's no shortage of need for who y'all are helping. Right.
Right.
So just help one more for me. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go find another single mom and do what you do. Keep doing it. People appreciate that. We appreciate what you're doing. It's fantastic. So, you know, hopefully we can bring some people that identify with that and want to get involved, and they find you, and y'all can, you know, find some people that want to be proactive
Yes.
I
and
love
not
that.
Reactive. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for
appreciate
having
y'all
us.
Yes.
taking time out of your day and coming and being with us.
Yes, we
Thank
really
you. We
appreciate
really
you.
appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you.